The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate podcast. I am Luis again, your host, and today we have a very special guest from Houston, Texas. She's one of the top realtors in Houston, and she has done hundreds of sales, hundreds of transactions. She's going to let us know about her story and how she is so successful. How are you today, Kristen?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Could you start telling us a little bit about your story? How did you get into this business, Kristen?
Sure. It's a funny little story, but I've heard it before from other people, and you don't really expect that. But when my husband and I were going to sell our house, I called my realtor, like we always do. And I said, "Hey, it's time to sell." And she said, "Okay, great." I said, "Can you come over and, we'll talk about prices and whatever." She says, "No." "What do you mean, no?" She said, "You're going to sell your house." I said, "No, I don't want to. What are you talking about?" She said, "You need to get your license and sell your own house." And I said, "I don't really want to do that, my friend. I want you to do it." And she said, "No, I think that this is the time you need to do it." So I struck her a deal. I said, "Okay, fine." I said, "Here's the thing. I will take one class online. And if I pass the class and it's not too torturously horrible, then I'll take the next class. And if I'm able to get my license, I'll sell my house. I'll give it a good college try, but if it doesn't work, it's just back on you and you're going to have to do the work." And she said, "No problem. I have all confidence in you. You absolutely need to do this. And I'll be with you every step of the way." So 3 months later, I was licensed, and 6 months later, my house was on the market and we sold it in 30 days.
Wow. You were
And
naturally
never stopped since. We just keep having clients come and we keep buying and selling houses.
That skill was high then.
So it's an example of someone seeing something in yourself that you can't quite yet see. And I've taken that principle and I've tried to use that on other people as well and help them discover things in themselves that aren't really apparent to them.
Wow. I can see you're a team leader at EXP. Am I right?
That's correct.
Perfect. Could you let us know a little bit about your journey as a team leader in EXP into the luxury market?
Sure. I lead the Greater Houston Living Team, and we're a small team headquartered in Southwest Houston over in the Sugar Land area. We service everything from Richmond all the way up into the Heights and Rice Military. We work in Westview Energy Corridor and all over the city, the hot spots in the city, essentially. We work with our clients primarily are our friends' kids, and our kids' friends. So we're very SOI heavy. So our sphere of influence is where we find most of our work, and word of mouth, because we have a very good reputation. We are aligned with EXP Luxury. Most of our price points are 800 and above, but
Wow.
we do work a lot with first-time buyers too, because those are our friends' kids that are entering the market. So we service both ends of the market: the first timers, the home, entry level over in Rice Military Heights, and then we're also working with folks out in Fort Bend County that are downsizing, right sizing, moving into the city from the burbs, or moving out of the city and into the burbs. So it's a fun little group to work with, and we really like being aligned with EXP Luxury because it helps us set our brand apart.
And are you? Yeah, go ahead.
EXP Luxury has its own marketing materials designed specifically for the luxury client. We have automatic syndication in 80 key markets and 70 specific international websites to get our listings in front of the right people. So when you're talking about high end, it's not all the people, it's the right people to see your homes. And that's what sets EXP Luxury apart from other divisions.
All right. That's very interesting. Never heard about it before. But as a team leader, how do you balance your, closing transactions and being a team leader at the same time?
Sure. We keep our client list very small and exclusive. So we consider ourselves a boutique and not a factory.
Mhm.
Whereas a lot of teams are just there for the numbers and like, oh, we have to do this many deals a year. We have to service this many clients. And we're more focused on serving the right people at the right time in the right price point than servicing the entire market. So
Oh,
we keep our list small and exclusive. We make sure that it's a good fit for us and the client. And if it's not, we refer it out. We find an agent that will work with the client better in a better way than we can if we don't think it's a good fit. But if it's a good fit for us, then our clients have an excellent experience because we only carry 3 to 4 agents, or each agent only carries 3 to 4 clients at a time. So
okay.
all of our clients have our full attention.
Awesome. And what is leadership for you, Kristen?
Leadership for me is helping the people that are around you or under you feel confident and competent at all times. So your leadership style changes based on the situation at hand. So you can be a good leader in the grocery store by handing a genuine compliment because now you've just created confidence in the person that you're talking to.
Awesome, awesome. And what leadership principles are you learning during these times of change?
Probably the biggest one that I'm leaning into right now is called easy hard or hard easy. And the way that principle goes is you do the hard thing first, because then later things will be easy. So, an example, there's several examples I could give. One would be when you're in your 20s, stretch yourself, make it's hard, but stretch yourself to save for retirement. So that when you're in your 50s or 60s, you're not worried about money. Okay.
Okay.
Exercise now so that when you're older, you'll be able to walk and
Okay.
be mobile. So right now, doing the hard thing first would be maybe making those calls that you don't want to do. You make the calls now, you build your pipeline so that later you have business. Okay.
That is right.
When you're thinking about the opposite, which would be easy, hard, and an example I use with my kids all the time was hard, easy is getting up early, putting gas in the car, and getting to your appointment on time.
Wow.
Easy, hard is you oversleep, you have a nice morning, you lollygag around, you run out of gas, and you miss your appointment. So which is it going to be? Hard, easy, or easy, hard? And
I bet.
hard, easy always pays off in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Always crazy. That's
So when we're sitting here in times of change, do the hard work first. Learn the path that we're going down. Get familiar. Get educated. Surround yourself with competent people who can answer your questions. And so then, when you are faced with tough situations, you feel like you're already prepared because you've already had the conversations in practice.
awesome. Are you also coaching or training other agents in your team?
I'm an EXP mentor, so I help
Oh,
new agents that want to launch. They come and stay with me for two to 5 transactions. Usually it's 3, but it depends on the person and how much coaching and mentoring they need.
wow, that's amazing. So you are doing a lot of transactions, you are a team leader, you're a coach, you're doing a lot of things at the same time, Kristen.
It's fun. Maybe I have ADD, but it kind of all goes together.
Awesome. So here is one question. What advice would you give to a first-time home buyer looking for a luxury home in Houston?
Well, if you're a first timer looking for a luxury home, the first question I'm going to say is, do you have a good lender? Because you want to make sure that they're financially qualified for a luxury home. Most first time buyers in Houston are going to be, in the 400 to 500 range, maybe a little less. If these are professionals, if these are college degreed, working professional jobs, been in the workforce for 5 to 7 years, those folks are looking at 350 to 450, maybe $500,000 homes. And
Wow.
we lead with education. We always lead with 2 things: relationship and education. So we go through the process, we give them an overview of what to expect, and then we break it down each step of the way and say, okay, now remember, this is what we're doing today. And then the next step is going to be this. So we're going to be preparing for the next step as we finish the previous step.
Okay. And what are some common mistakes sellers and buyers are doing in Houston?
I think pricing is a big mistake that people make. There's a lot of confusion in the marketplace right now. We've just come through the pandemic and COVID where prices went way up, and now we're in a more normal market. So sellers want top dollar, and their idea of what top dollar might be may or may not be supported by the market. And conversely, buyers come into a house and they expect everything to be perfect. They've been watching HGTV, so they're not really prepared to see green tile in a bathroom or
Yeah.
was an odd color flooring somewhere. So we have to get those expectations set at the beginning so that when they do encounter those things, they're a little more prepared for it.
Awesome, awesome. And how is EXP Luxury changing the landscape for high-end home buyers and selling?
Yeah, they're doing a great job. They have weekly masterminds with the leaders in our company, with the EXP Luxury leaders. That is, they can open their playbooks and show everybody what they're doing to differentiate themselves in the market and help other agents do the same. They have EXP Luxury has its own marketing platform where we can do all of our own branding with our own EXP Luxury specific logos and marketing materials. So those are some things. And I think I spoke earlier about the international syndication that we get. We also have websites, we have concierge services, we have logo services.
Oh,
You name it, we've got it. It's impressive. I will say it's very impressive, and it's run separately from regular EXP. So we get our own dedicated staff and concierge service, which I really appreciate.
that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Just so you know, Kristen, some of our audience are also realtors who are trying to get into the real estate market, but they don't know how to do it. So, what advice would you give to these new realtors?
Well, the first thing I would say is who you hang out with matters. So find a good mentor in your area or someone that you really jive with, who speaks, a language that you can understand. And I don't mean like your mother tongue. I just mean emotional language. So that you get each other, right? So someone that you can look up to and who can lead you and lead you well and give you good advice and give you good practice. You want someone who will allow you to shadow them so you can see what it looks like to go in with a client. You can see what it looks like to go into different kinds of homes and meet with different kinds of people and help determine if that client is a good fit for you.
Awesome, awesome. Perfect. And before we leave, can you share a memorable success story from your career that is resonating for you?
So many. How do you choose? I
You can
think
choose
one
one.
of one of the coolest deals that I did. Let's see, which one do I pick? I'm going to use the Christmas story
All right.
because we were in the middle. This will probably over time. People will be like, "What's she talking about?" But we had this thing called a pandemic where the whole world shut down, and we were trying to reinvent how to do deals and get signatures, and we weren't supposed to be person to person, and that's really hard in a relationship focused career. So we had a client who was trying to close on their house before the end of the year, and Christmas was approaching. And one of the spouses got this disease called COVID and landed in the hospital.
Okay.
This is about 2 weeks before closing. And so as we got closer to the closing table, it became apparent that she was not going to be able to attend the closing to sign
Oh,
to buy the house that their family needed to move into before the end of the year. Because their lease was up and they had found this house and it was a great deal and all the things. So we worked very closely with the lender, the title company, the spouse that was not in the hospital, and the spouse who was in the hospital to get a POA signed, which is a power of attorney, so
okay.
that so that the healthy spouse could go and sign. And this is where you have to have really good relationships in your industry. Our title rep met us on Christmas Eve in the parking lot at the title company so that the husband could sign the closing docs to get the deal done before the end of the year, before everyone went on vacation.
Wow.
That was his Christmas miracle. we still talk about that, and
That's
how the team really, everybody came together and rallied around this sweet couple, and what a difference it made for them, and really gave us such great joy to get to do that.
awesome. Awesome. Well, that's such a great story. And you are very good solving troubles. So, before we leave, is there something else you would like to share to your audience? Something you would like to promote about yourself or your brokerage?
Well, I just think EXP is a great company. When I started in real estate, I didn't start as an EXP agent. Like I said, the person that got me into real estate brought me into their brokerage. It was a small mom and pop shop, great people, salt of the earth, absolutely love them. So grateful that they gave me the opportunity to get started. But I came to EXP because I needed more tech tools, and I needed an environment where I could learn more about the business side of it. So for me, EXP was a great fit. We're a tech company that uses technology to serve people in real estate, and I just love
Yeah,
that.
that is
EXP is an industry leader, and I like to be on the front end of things. I don't like to be on the back end. I like to be leading and being in front of the pack and setting the tone. And so I can do that at EXP, and I really appreciate that about EXP.
that is just beautiful. EXP is awesome. Yeah, I know it. So yeah, Kristen, it was such a pleasure to have you here at Icons of Real Estate. You really have a lot of experience, and that's what we need here because the audience will be listening to you and will be learning from you as well. So thank you very much for being here, Kristen.
You're welcome. And if there's anyone out there that is interested in EXP or wants to learn more about Houston or Team Legacy or the Greater Houston Living team that I serve on, you can always reach me at my cell phone, 281-305-9023. And I believe they'll have links to my bio
This
here,
is, I can see it.
here,
I can see
here.
your cell phone and your email.
Yes,
Awesome.
everything is up there, but feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help you if you're interested in EXP. We have a very vibrant downline, and I'm an open book for anyone that wants to hear about EXP.
And also, our audience are sellers and buyers. So for the sellers and buyers into the luxury max market in Houston, I encourage them to contact you, Kristen.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much and see you another time, Kristen. Bye bye.
Okay, appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.